Hey guys! Hello. I had to go grab some of my friends from incubation because it doesn't make much sense that I teach you an agar video without having some of what we're working on. So I'm gonna have to edit off that whole first 2.5 minutes. So, welcome Simon, or something. Simone, baby. I haven't had enough nos yet. So, anyway, what we're going to be working on, I hear you, doggo. What we're going to be working on today is agar. This crazy shit that's in a plate. Now, this stuff that's on the bottom is not contamination. Okay? That's actually nutrients that I'm going to show you how to do in a minute. That's actually probably the yeast that is fueling that. And because, let's see if I can get that on there. I got lighting set up and it's reflecting. So we're going to be working on this. I'm going to put these guys back in the bag so we don't run the risk that they get jacked up. And the one thing that I will say, I wish I had a contaminated plate so I could show you. If you see any other color other than what you put in this plate, mycelium and agar, throw it away. You guys all know that my yeah, it's pretty rhizomorphic, I know. It looks like the shit, you can't even see it. I call these sunbursts because it looks like just the rays of the sun. This one's actually getting ready to start pinning right in here. This one is getting cultured because it's stacking like right here. I'll culture it. It's pretty good for me to tell you this kind of stuff too because, and mind you guys, I'm looking at this backwards. This spot right here will be cultured. Ooh. And this spot right here. So, to the left of my finger, let's see if I can get the light on it better. There, that spot right there. Because when I look at it this way, I catch a glimpse of how strong this band is. And that's what I want to carry on new genetics. So anyway, looks like the rays of the sun. I'm always happy when I see the sun, so. You guys know what my incubation area looks like when it's, because you guys have been in there a million times. Everything, when I work on a grouping of plates, so this is a plate off of a mother culture, which was 2026-20. So that mother plate that this little piece of agar came off of is solitary. She's got her own bag. She sleeps by herself because she's the queen. These guys, I put them in separate bags, and each stack from each mother dish is grouped. So they never get, mixed up, and I'm not searching for them anywhere. And this is also a very good way to prevent anything else from getting contaminated. If something in here goes bad, it was bad from the beginning. And so this whole thing, I wouldn't try to save any of these plates. It would be in the trash. That's just the way it is with me. I don't mess around. So, we're going to work on agar. I'm going to try to get this camera set up. I may have to take it off and put it back on. Okay. The things that we're going to be working with are, and by the way, I've already got my pressure cooker set up. My lids are ready to go. Forgot my tinfoil sheets though. Hold on. Zoop, zoop. Where are you, my tinfoil sheets? Found you. Everything should be ready to go. When you're doing this, because you want to get this in the pressure cooker. My water is already boiling over there in my pressure cooker. So, these tinfoil sheets, and I've gotten good at this enough now that I can rip tinfoil on the counter. If you're quick enough, you can rip it. Those tinfoil sheets you can get at the dollar store. What this is doing is when the jars are in the pressure cooker, it's preventing extra moisture from falling down in here and adding too much liquid to your agar. So, this sheet of tinfoil quartered is usually enough to cover a lid. You know, like this. And you pull it all the way down over the jars. So, if anybody with... Oh, shit. You know what? I don't have those. I don't have my dextrose. Hold on. I'm sorry, puppy. I didn't mean to scare you. Okay, agar. So, let's work on definitions here for a second. Agar. There are three main types of agar that we use in mycology. The first is potato dextrose. It is a pain in the ass to make. I use it all the time because I like it. You do it by boiling potatoes, adding agar. So, agar is a generalized statement. Agar is the actual gelatin that you're using. The nutrients are what make your agar plates. So, agar comes in many forms. And one of the best ones, believe it or not, comes from India. Now, there are some agar powders online that have, you know, pictures of cordyceps growing on them, and they make you think that they're the best of the best. That's all it is. Just the agar. Most of them, they don't have the nutrients in them. You still have to add the nutrients. So I would never pay $32 for a thing of agar powder that big when this thing cost me $12. And this gigantic monster this is from India. This giant monster of a bag was $15. I've had this bag for 3 years. That's how little agar you use. The nutrients are what you use a lot of. So, I just wanted to show you the different types of agar. If I say agar twice, I'm referring to this. If I say agar plates, I'm referring to the entire all-encompassing thing. There is, like I said, 3 different types that are used. PDA being potato dextrose agar. Boiling potatoes, grabbing the water, filtering the water, using that water as your base, and then adding your agar, and your nutrients, your other nutrients, which is dextrose. You can buy dextrose powder, which, based on how much you need, it's like a gram. This will last you your lifetime. I think it was like $16. I use potato dextrose and what they call malt yeast extract agar. So MEA, malt extract agar. When you're doing malt extract agar, you're using water, agar powder, and malt extract that they use in brewing beers and wines and stuff like that. That is, and it's important to keep these things sealed because they will grab humidity in the air and you have a bunch of a chunky mess and you don't want that. So, your malt, and notice, even though it's in a mason jar, it's still in a Ziploc bag. Actually, my bad, 2 Ziploc bags. Okay, you guys go over there. And malt extract, I use what they call a golden light. There are dark extracts, but pretty much for mycology, you want to use a lighter extract because darker extracts can hide all your contamination that you may get. So, it's going to be hard as hell to read this because it is old. But, so my malt extract, it's a real light extract. This is your sugar when it comes to malt extract agar. So, malt extract agar, again, is this agar powder and water. That's it. People ask me all the time, how the hell do you get your plates to look like they do? Secrets. And I guess I'll tell you. So, when I do extracts, when I do malt extracts, I do what they call MEYA, which is malt extract yeast agar. Blah, blah, blah. I need a drink. Malt extract yeast agar. And I have a little trick. And believe me, this has come from years of experience. I do add a bump of dextrose to my MEYA. Now, over the years, I've figured out exactly how much it takes. You can completely kill your mycelium with this stuff if you're not careful. It's too much sugar and it can go south. So, Hero, I'm trying. Ask about. I already had one. Coco Bananas, welcome. So, malt extract yeast agar is primarily the agar that I use. That's what I grow everything on. I'm not going to tell you how much dextrose I put in it because we're leaving that out when it comes to your stuff. So, my recipe, and it is important. Okay, let me get all my kids working here. Hold on. This one is good. This one is ready to pour. This, when we talk about yeast, hold on. I forgot to grab it out, y'all. When we're talking about yeast, we are not talking about what Val uses at work. This is not what you want to use. Do not use active dry or any kind of bread yeast when it comes to your agar. Doesn't work. Well, it works, but just don't use this. Okay, so what we do use, though, is nutritional yeast. And ask Val how long it took me to find this shit this morning. Because my kids love to eat this on popcorn. So, I get my yeast from Trader Joe's. I actually travel like 70 miles to go get it. Because by far, this nutritional yeast is the best. This nutritional yeast, when I get it, I take it, I put it in the blender, I hit pulse, and I get it down to where instead of it being flakes like it is when you get it, it's a powder. Okay? It makes it more available for the mycelium to consume than giant flakes. And those giant flakes can darken, as you saw on those plates. The yeast does get dark. And what it can do is it can make your brain think, oh shit, I've got contamination, when you really don't. It's really okay. So, we've got our tinfoil, we've got our lids. Yes, these are injection port lids, but they work fantastic to sterilize agar. Let me get my jars that I don't need. This lid needs to go on here so we don't have issues with that. These are my jars that I'm using, okay? Actually, I should probably run 4. If you guys saw my glassware, you would be laughing right now. So, I am doubling this recipe. There will be 500 milliliters of water in each of these jars, but we're not mixing in each of these individual jars. I will make one recipe with my big jar. Everything gets mixed in here, and then it gets poured into these. They get covered. They get put in the pressure cooker. So, this is not a procedure, guys, by the way, this is not a procedure that you need gloves, sterilization, everything like that. At the point it comes out of the pressure cooker is when you need to start practicing sterile tech. All of this stuff right now, you can't be sterile. Okay? You could in a perfect world if you had Paul Stamit's lab. I'm working from home, y'all. So, we've got our tin foil. We've got our lid to shake and bake. We've got our gram scale. Now, you can use whatever instrument to weigh this out in that you want to. When you do this, it's good to set this on here before you even turn on your scale. It's set to 0. I think everybody can see that. I think. Wait. So it zeroes it out. If it's not zeroed out, you hit tare, whatever you call it. And then you start weighing out your ingredients. And so, for my recipe, I need to go get a spoon, you guys. I'm sorry. Oh, and I need to turn on my water. Actually, I got hot water over here on the side. I'll just use this. Yeah, I'm good. I got hot water. Yup. We're going to use this one, not that one. Oh, please don't burn me. Please don't burn me. Okay. This one's going on, and we're going to get set on high, so we're ready. All right, guys. Yeast, spoon. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't ever use one spoon for all this stuff because I don't, just in case, don't want to cross-contaminate my ingredients. It's really important each ingredient has its own spoon, and just toss it in the sink after you're done. And I have a feeling, y'all, my frickin' scale is about to take a dump on me. I need to see how long this is going to stay on. Actually, you know what? Screw this. I'm just going to grab my other scale. We're going to grab the biggin. For video purposes, it's just nice to have that little scale, but I have a feeling my batteries are going down. So we are going to use our plugged-in model and carry this all the way across the counter. Hold on, y'all. Alrighty, there we go. Same thing with this one. Make sure everything's zeroed out. There we go. This is going to need to be set to grams. No.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo!
There we go. We're on grams. Yeah, this one already crapped out on me. Where? There you are. There you are. All right. So, we're zeroed out. Again, we're on grams. Everything, when it comes to agar, is measured in grams and milliliters. We're going to need 1,000 milliliters of water. Actually, I'm doubling this. So I'm going to be using 2,000. You guys are only going to be using 1,000. Because pouring plates, 1,000 milliliter recipe will usually pour about 30 plates, 35 plates. If you know. All right, so this recipe, I'm going to be using 20, okay, you guys are going to be using 20 grams, 20 grams of agar, 20 grams of your malt extract. We're not even going to talk about the dextrose because you guys aren't going to be using that. 2 grams, 2, not 20, 2 of nutritional yeast. So, I'm going to weigh these out individually because I'm not going to... That's boom! Boom! Right off the bat, 2 grams. I'll tell you how long I've been doing this. All right. You guys aren't seeing this. This part. After every ingredient, every single ingredient, zero out your scale. So, even though I've got 2 grams of nutritional yeast in here, it's back at 0. Every single ingredient. So, you're not going to need to worry about, you're not going to need, well, I need to save that. That one goes with this one. Come here, my lovely. Oh, you're going to be a bitch, aren't you? You are. Because that's what you do. If there are protective seals on your stuff, guys, they're there for a reason. And not that I would just trust the protective seal on this. I will also bag this. Oh, for the love of God. There we go. I don't open it up all the way. I'm only going to open that up a little bit. But again, you guys aren't using this. So, let's see. All right, get you guys balanced back on the counter. Oh, hello, lovely. Oh, don't be a bitch. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Go there. I need another bag, please. I try to keep everybody's bags separated because, again, cross-contamination. All right. Now, we're going to use 20 grams of agar-agar, okay? I cut my pouches so I can just pour them. If you're not experienced at this, there we go. You can over pour. So, again, zero out. Now we're on to our sugar. So, our sugar is also 20 grams of dry malt, light malt extract. Oh. Okay. Now, all of our ingredients are in here. And you don't have to, you do not have to shake this up. You really don't. I do just because I'm kind of anal like this. And I'm going to turn this kid off for a minute. Now, that's not a lot of powder. That'll run a lot of product, a lot of plates. But it's not a hell of a lot of powder for 1,000 milliliters of water. I'm going to go grab my 1,000 milliliters of water out of my pot because it's hot, hot water. I didn't really even need these. I just grabbed them just in case. And hopefully, there we go. All right, my lovely. Be careful when you're pouring scalding hot water, guys. So, there's our water. And the reason you want this hot, when you do this, and listen to me, please listen to me about this. Don't jam this lid down on here and start shaking. You could blow this container with how hot this water is. So, screw it on there so it's good enough. And just start swirling. The reason you want hot water is like when you make gravy at Thanksgiving. You put your dry ingredients into a container that has cold water in it, it's going to sit there like a clump. It's not going to dissolve. So you guys see how there is yeast. And that's why when I showed you guys in that tech video about pouring, when I'm pouring my plates, I've got a stack in this hand. I'm lifting, I'm swirling, I'm pouring, putting down, swirling, pouring. It's in constant movement so that yeast is distributed through each plate. So, we're good now. This is all mixed, and that's as long as it took. all of that powder and stuff. So now I'm actually going to grab a paper towel just in case I have any spillage. Okay? It's always good to have preparations in case. Boom. Boom. Lids off. Now, same with this. Needs to be stirred as you're pouring 500 milliliters of your product into your jar. I'm going to turn this around so... there we go. Now, I just mixed this, and I'm going to get it... Yes. Yes, my lovely. Alright. So, whoa, dog, that's hot. Hold on. I'm going to grab a rag because this is hot as hell. Now, the 500 milliliter mark is not marked on your jar. Okay? As soon as you're done with this, cap it so you don't get outside contaminants in your stuff. Crank it down. Put your tin foil in. Oh God, my daughter just called. Can you guys still hear me? Can you still hear me? Yes, yes, no, no.
They're so cheap.